All right, welcome to the coaches. Well, what happened?
Yeah.
Why are we getting a? All right, welcome aboard, everybody, and welcome. This is the Volleyball Coaches Show. Guy Wayman here, along with Coach Brian Wheatley, and as our special guest, we have Ireland Ferguson. We're going to be talking with her a little bit later, and then Coach Gary Bolyard, and he's with the women's soccer team of Venice High School. But, Coach, we have not been here for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Listen, I'm so excited to eat this burger tonight. I'm excited to come back to Pops and get this great atmosphere here. If anybody's out there get hungry tonight, come on down and check out the food. And it's exciting. You can tell it's almost season because this place is starting to really fill up.
Yeah, I think I had to park at the beach across the way.
yeah, good little walk.
Yeah,
we got some Cleveland fans in the house tonight.
Oh, it's going to be a big one tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
And, we have not talked, so let's kind of review. Since the last time we have had a coaches show, you've had the Battle of the Beach or Battle at the Beach. You've had the Durango Classic. You went out to Las Vegas. And then we had a couple of games last week. Battle of the Beach, how did all that transpire? I mean, I think it went really well.
It went great. Ended up going 4-1. Came in third out of 16 teams. And we really played good ball against some really quality opponents. You know, we talk about our steak opponents and our tomato opponents. So we had a lot of steak opponents in that tournament, and it was a good growth weekend for us. And so it went really smooth. I think everybody had a great time, and had a lot of fans come out and check it out. So it's cool.
From that Saturday, then, it was just a few days. The following Wednesday, you guys embarked out of Tampa International, and you scooted out to Vegas.
Yeah, we a few days later jumped on the plane.
How much did you lose?
Oh, no, just a little pride out there. That's about all.
All right, what was the itinerary for the kids?
So got out there, and we did a show, and then the next day we did a Grand Canyon.
Now, you went and watched a show.
Yeah, we watched.
You didn't perform the show.
No, but we probably could have done the show a little better than what they did. But we're not going to really talk about that tonight. But the next day we went to the Grand Canyon and Hoover Dam. And, we were sitting out there. I was talking with one of our administrators who went with us on the trip. I said, these kids can't learn this in the classroom. They're going to remember this day for the rest of their life because it was absolutely spectacular. I think it's one of the 8 wonders of the world. Mm-hmm. And so you can't learn that stuff in the classroom. So that aspect, it was awesome. And I know Ireland really liked it. And just to see a different, the desert and
it's the power of that competition plus that everybody talks about Vegas, but Hoover Dam and the Grand Canyon, that is so unique.
Yeah, and just the history there of like Hoover Dam and World War II and Roosevelt and the people that died making that dam and just there's just a lot of history there. And so again, you can't read about that stuff. So that was good. We stayed on the Strip, and we walked around the Strip a little bit, and then the tournament began.
There were over 60 teams that competed in that tournament.
Sure.
Was it overwhelming, or was it spread out enough that it was manageable?
Yeah, it was 4 different locations. I thought the competition was awesome. It was very well managed. It's there's 3 main tournaments in the United States. There's Chicago, which we've done the last couple of years, Vegas, and there's one in Arizona that they just finished this past weekend. So it was a great tournament.
And generally you place those in the middle of the season, so then, or maybe toward the late part of the season, just enough so you can learn and bounce into playoffs.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, our program's about, to be the best, you got to play the best, and then you got to beat the best. And, we're at a point right now where we're playing the best. We're competing with everybody. In fact, number 9, we had the number 9 team in the nation in our pool, Marin Catholic from
in the country.
In the country, they're from Northern California, and they hadn't lost a set the whole year. We beat them game 1, Game 2, we had them 23-21 to getting ready to finish the sweep and get to the gold bracket. And their 6'5" kid that she took over and ended up losing that match. But we ended up getting second place out of fourth in our pool, which put us in the silver bracket. And that was plenty enough as well. So.
Yeah. Now, this last week, and then we're going to get to Ireland, then we're going to get to Coach Gary here. What is interesting, too, before we do that, is that people watch you get food. And when they watch you get food, they say, I like that shrimp he got, or I like that salad, or,
the peel and eat shrimp's one of the best here.
And then when you had that burger that one night, they said, that looks so good. And people come out because they want to get what you got.
Yeah, it's their food here is just phenomenal.
Yeah. And Joe's a great guy. We had him on.
Yeah, the owner is a big supporter of Venice Volleyball, and it's what a beautiful place. I mean, you got the water back there and the sunset, and it's just a great atmosphere. And then, we're surrounded by a great coach here, the soccer coach. And,
well, that's yet to be determined.
I love our players. I'm so happy Ireland gets to join us tonight, so it's a great night.
Okay, we're going to let you have your salad in just a minute.
Okay.
This last week, Riverview came to town, and we had Lakewood Ranch come to town. Riverview, they took both times.
They did. So we came out and we beat them game 1. We beat them game 1, right? Beat them game 1. And what we've kind of done a lot this year is we just couldn't sustain. So we're competing with these teams, and then we're having some breakdowns, and so we're just kind of getting through that. And I'm excited about the progress we're making the last couple weeks. For example, Riverview, we were down 11-5 in game 1, came back and won. Game 2, they beat us by 4-5, and then game 3, we were down 18-10, tied it at 24 all, and couldn't close out the deal because we were about to take a 2-1 lead, which would have been huge at home.
Yeah.
So they took it, and that's fine. Hats off to them. They got a really nice team this year, and I love when local teams are good because we haven't had any competition in here. We have to go out of town all the time for over the last 20 years. So I'm glad that there's a couple teams in the area that's starting to pick it up. It's good for the sport. It's good for the area. It's good for us. So even though it hurts a little bit to lose the Riverview, at the end of the day, if we can win a state championship, I'll lose the Riverview every single year.
Lakewood Ranch, you went up there the first time. They came down on Thursday.
Right.
And actually, when I was calling that game and watching that game, that is the first time that I started to see the Venice team start to come together.
Yeah.
I watched it, and I watched what was the interaction, and you shook things up. You were putting things in there. You had DeVries and Reynolds in there at the same time. So you had, wait, this is not two setters, and you switched things up, and I think that's okay to shake things up because things started happening with the team.
For sure, and after we lost to Riverview, I told our kids, when you get knocked down, you got two options. It's either stay down or get back up and put one foot in front of the other. So, we try to be problem solvers on our staff, and so we're switching personnel around, we're switching rotations around. So we're just trying to figure it out until we get it, because we know this Friday our record's 0-0, just like everybody else in the state. So it's just a matter of making adjustments and figuring out what works and what doesn't.
All right. We're going to talk about these coming games here in just a little bit. And to your left is who?
This is Ireland Ferguson. She's our sophomore libero. She's one. I think I've only had maybe 5 kids in my 26 years make varsity as a freshman. So she's one of them.
Yeah.
So she's a special player, special young lady, and we're really enjoying having her on the team. She brings so much to our program, and she's only a sophomore, which is great.
Ireland, welcome to the Volleyball Coaches Show. You have to pick up the microphone to talk. I've had people watch you last year, and they never watched Venice volleyball at all, and they saw you out there as a freshman last year, and because of that experience, they said, you know what, if she's making it as a freshman, they liked your energy, they liked the way that you went after it, and that all of a sudden made them a fan of the volleyball program, and they never saw it before. It's like, wow, if that's a freshman, then they saw everybody else, and you remember all the seniors last year, and that was something else. But libero, everybody knows it's different because you get to wear the pink shirt. But now explain the differences why a libero, and you're going to have to talk into it like that, why libero is libero.
Well, libero, I guess they are in control of the defense, I would say. They run the court in the back row.
And so you're a freshman and it's a libero, and you're running it.
Well, I definitely had a lot of help, just from my previous years of being pushed. And so coming into Wheatley and the Venice volleyball program, it felt like home to me. And I love how it's run, still do. So, and but wearing the pink jersey, I definitely feel like I have a lot of responsibility. But
you get the color, you get to pick the pink color, or is that set? In other words, does it have to be pink, or could you wear like some of the other teams? They actually wear, it looks like they're street worker yellow.
Well,
yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
It just has to be a contrasting color. So we could look at that in future years.
Yeah, it does not have to be pink, but I like the pink a lot, actually. Yeah. It makes me look tan.
Yeah, because there's a pink out last week, too.
Yeah, there was. I was all pinked out that week.
Yeah, okay. All right, so continue, because you're not allowed to set up in the front row, are you?
No, I'm not. I have I'm not allowed to do anything with the front row. I can't even set with my hands in the front row, or else it's considered like an attack or like a back row attack, which is kind of annoying. But I definitely take a lot of the court, which I like having the responsibility, because I know it's on me. So I know if I do something wrong, I can always try and figure out how to fix it and how to make it better. So.
All right. The elephant in the room, and I'm going to bring this up. At the beginning of the season, you had a lot of problems with your serves.
Yeah.
So you come on up and you're going to serve, and bam, right in the net. All right, then you do it again, bam, right into the net.
Yeah.
You started to figure this thing out here about in the last 10 days or so. What did you do, or what did the coach do? Did he say, you get it over, you're gone?
Well, he definitely told me that I need to work on it, and I definitely agreed. So on a Sunday afternoon, I rented out a volleyball gym for 2 hours.
Did you really?
Yeah, and I just worked on my serve for 2 hours straight until I finally got it down, and I had my parents just out there giving me positions to serve to until I finally realized what I need to do every single time to get my serve down.
You're like 5'4", right?
Yeah, 5'3".
Oh, 5'3", okay, all right. 5'4" was pushing it.
I like the extra inch, though.
Yeah, it's kind of like some of these quarterbacks in the NFL. They say 5'10", they're really 5'9". Okay, so you're 5'3". You don't get the advantage of a Sadie Kluner who's like 7'4".
Yeah.
So how do you have to get it over the loft or something? Something you have to do a little bit different.
Oh, well, definitely coming from a different angle of a solid 1.5 feet. I definitely have to figure out how I hit the ball a certain way to make it still be hard and close to the net, but still make sure I get it over the net, which I think that was my problem. I was trying to go too hard instead of not focusing on hard and over the net. And so definitely just trying to figure out, and I think it's all in the toss, and where you toss the ball is determined on how you hit it.
I'm going to bring in Coach Bolyard here in just a moment, but we were talking off air before we went on air, and that there's a uniqueness about women playing in the sports, that they're not afraid to get down and maybe skin a knee or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And you being the libero, you have a lot of opportunities for digs.
Yeah.
How did you overcome that fear of, well, I'm going to get down there and I'm going to skin my knee or whatever and get away from the diva-ness?
Well, I definitely, being in that position, I honestly had to just get over it and just I've always loved diving. That's just one thing I've always loved doing. But definitely knowing that balls are going to drop if I don't get down there, and doing it for my team, get on the ground for your team and get the ball up, is basically the mentality that I had to go through.
Any serves really bother you? Or you can take any of the fast ones, can't you?
Oh, yeah. Serve receive was definitely my struggle out of a defense I always loved, and
I mean, those things are coming over the net, and all of a sudden, wow.
Yeah, the serves definitely. Those were definitely tricky for me, and then I eventually realized I needed glasses, and that and
that would help, wouldn't it, Coach?
Yeah, it's good we got glasses.
Yeah, and once I got those, my serve receive definitely got a lot better. I was actually.
Really good.
I started to follow the ball and read it a lot better. So.
Okay, and I'm going to talk about how you have to adjust in the middle of the game when all of a sudden there's a big gap and a hole in there that they keep hitting all the time. So be thinking about that. Coach Bolyard, let's bring you in here. You've been sitting very patiently. I know you want your meal in a heartbeat here because I know you're getting hungry.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you for having me in, Brian. Thank you. It's an honor to be here to part of this volleyball program, to have us come in and be a guest with this place.
Women's soccer. I got the preview from Coach here. He says these girls are good. They're going to be good. And we were just talking a little bit off air about your soccer program coming up. It starts in November in earnest. But you have an inside track of what they look like right now.
Yeah, this team that we have, we're very young. But this group of girls, they're like a family. And a lot of times that's a cliche that everybody will say, but these girls actually, they step on the practice field and they care about each other. They step off the practice field, they care about each other. We travel, they're outside of the game, they're together, and you can truly see that they care about each other.
Now, in what we were just talking about with Ireland about digging, getting in the dirt. Now, this is a hard floor, so they can get more of a skinned knee, but out there in the grass with the dirt and everything, there's a lot of different kinds of scratches, but they're not afraid to get down there either.
No, these girls play physical too. It's, a lot of people don't think it's a physical sport, but they will take hard fouls and give hard fouls, and they're down on the ground, and you can
there's
see
a lot of bumping in there.
Oh, there's a lot of bumping, and it's
is it more physical than what people think?
Very, very much so. Very much so.
Because there's not a lot of, in volleyball, it's not like basketball where, underneath the rim and everything where there's a lot of bumping and things like that. But in soccer, you see that, and they cannot be afraid of getting kicked in the shin.
No, you can't be afraid, and that's part of the game, being that intimidation and being the physical player and not backing down. And most of our girls, if not all of them, have no problem with that.
Yeah. All right.
They are.
Oh, I got turned on your mic. Now go.
I was going to say, volleyball, there's a net separates us, but if you ever go to a soccer game, it's amazing to see those kids out there get after it. I mean, I would say it's even more physical than basketball, really. I mean, they got blood coming out of their knees and their elbows, and it's very, very intense, and it's fun to watch. Really, a lot of fun to watch.
This is the Volleyball Coaches Show. That is head coach Brian Wheatley. We've got special guest Ireland Ferguson. She is a starting sophomore libero. Last year she started as a freshman. Coach Gary Bolyard, did I say that right?
That's correct.
And he is the coach of the women's soccer team. Okay, do you have any questions now? I was asking her about the gap, because we've seen that on some of the opposing teams, that all of a sudden they hit a middle spot and they keep kind of hitting that. They have to make an adjustment right there on the court, don't they?
Well, there's always one spot on the court that's always open, and it's up to the offensive team to figure that out, where that is. So that's what volleyball is about, is just making adjustments. And so we did have an opening in the middle, but I think we've been taking care of that recently, and so it's going to be up to another team to find out another area of where they need to go. So again, it's all about the process for us, and part of varsity sports, I'm sure Gary would agree with this, is that it's such a big difference between the JV and varsity level. The game is just so faster and more physical and more mental. So you just got to be ready to compete every single night. And, like these guys over here, they give up one goal. That could be it the whole time, 1-0 and the game's over. Yeah. So you just got to stay aggressive, and you got to play with your backs against the wall, because if you play safe, you're going down. I think as sooner a team learns that, the better off, they'll be with what they're doing. And And again, it was awesome watching the soccer team last year go through their playoff run. They lost a heartbreaker in the shootout. What team was that?
St. Pete.
That was the
St. Pete.
St. Pete. What a great match. And one thing I'll tell you that they've done, and we want to do more of this, is he was bringing his whole team to our matches. And it meant so much to our team, and our team played harder last year when that was going on. And I think the more teams that do that,
I think the camaraderie and the unity, it's like, hey, we support you type of thing.
Listen, I think at Venice, if one team does well, it benefits every other team because winning's a habit.
Yeah.
And it's cool now to win at Venice High School, where 25 years ago it was not cool to win at Venice High School. So yeah, I mean, I wish every team would win a state championship every year because that shows my team that, hey, we can do it too. So, and I think that's what's been going on.
It elevates all the sports.
For sure. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Oh, most definite. We've been just idolizing all these other programs: volleyball, the championships; baseball, the championships; football, the individual championships. Swimming had a championship last year, and we feel we're there. We're knocking on the door, and we're excited about this season and to follow in the footsteps of all these great programs at our school.
Yeah, it's definitely going to happen for them. I mean, they are. He's right. They are right there. Every year you can tell they're getting a little closer, and whether it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time.
Okay, and I feel a little bit of a sprinkle, but we'll be okay. Ireland, you put on the varsity jersey. That is special in and of itself, but that doesn't make you a winner.
No.
And there is a difference, a mentality, something within you has to change. Just because you put on the jersey doesn't make you that champion. Explain.
Well, to get on varsity, that definitely means that you are a hard worker and that you're willing to put in the effort and the time to become a better player and a person in general to get up to the varsity level and to win state champions, because you don't really win a state championship if you don't have all the qualities there. Like if
Do you think some of the girls assume that they put on the varsity? In other words, okay, I'm on the varsity team. I actually put on that jersey and I go through the warm-ups and bam, I'm going to be a star.
Yeah, I definitely think so, but I don't really see it on this team as much anymore. But I definitely think a lot of girls thought that making varsity is a very big thing, and once you make it,
so in other words, they achieved it and they didn't have to push anymore.
Yeah, and so it's kind of the mindset of I made varsity, but that's one of the easiest parts. Like now I have a whole entire season that I have to go through of to continue pushing and the mentality push. So.
Okay. Yeah, keep on talking. We're going to try and protect our stuff here. How many rainstorms have we had here, Coach? About 2 or 3, haven't we?
Yeah, a little bit. It'll go away.
Yeah,
I see blue skies over there. So
yeah. Well, I think you got your boat parked back here.
Got to ride it out. Yeah. I wish.
You know what I'm talking about with Ireland about putting on that varsity jersey, that the kids, I've made the varsity team and now I'm all set. And that in themselves is, some of them think that's the achievement rather than, no, the work is just starting at this point.
Yeah, and it's the same way with our program. And we have girls that are on the JV team that they would play anywhere else. And they're fighting and they're battling to get to that varsity position, and they're practicing every day with varsity players. And they're seeing what it takes to be that varsity player, and they're fighting to make that spot. And it's so competitive at that level that they can't let their guard down when they're in practice. They've got to push and push and push to get that playing time at the varsity level.
You know, Coach, when you do your warm-ups at the beginning, it is different than the warm-ups of the freshman team or the JV team. It is different, and it's the way that they go about it, and that already sets the tone. But we talked early on, maybe about 6 weeks ago, about this very thing, about just because you put on the varsity uniform. And when I was talking with Ireland, I think something happened Thursday's game.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's got to come a moment in everybody's season where something like that happens, and I just feel.
In case you're wondering, it is pouring down rain here, but we're persevering just like the varsity team does.
That's right. I feel like, there just comes a time. Hey, Tyson! Dang it.
Well,
That's one of my former students there. I wanted to say hello to him.
they should blow over.
Yeah.
Doesn't this remind you of Caddyshack? I don't think the heavy stuff's going to come down for quite some time.
I don't know. I know my back's getting really wet right now.
Mine is too. Well, we're still on the
I
air.
forgot
so
what
we're
I was
going.
talking about.
Varsity.
Yeah.
And Thursday night they all came together.
Yeah. I mean, we're at a point in our season where it's just go time. And, he told the girls today that we got 2 really tough matches. And, my whole thing is don't listen to the outside noise, because usually our record is much better than what it is right now. But I don't care about our record. And if I did, I would find a lot of schools that we could easily beat, and we could easily be, instead of being 12-10 right now, we could be 23-0 right now.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter to me. If it did, we would be 23-0. So what matters to me is that our kids are going to be ready for postseason. So we just keep preaching, trust the process, trust your coaching staff, and you go out there and do your job, and let's get a little bit better every single day. Just get a little bit better.
Does soccer play in the rain?
Yeah, unfortunately, we play in the rain.
So you're used to this.
We're used to this.
And as long as there's no lightning, we're fine.
No lightning, we're good.
Yeah. You don't have elements. Do you ever think about the football team and the soccer team and things like that when they have elements to worry about?
Oh, yeah, definitely a lot. But I do also play beach volleyball sometimes, so I will have those occurrences of
Oh, so you
wind,
get the sand in
rain,
the
all
toes and that bugs you.
Yeah.
Turn the air conditioner up a little bit,
Oh, yeah. Still sweating.
Yeah, it's called the Arctic chill. Okay. Plug for your program coming up. When do you guys start?
We have tryouts coming up in 2 weeks. We're really looking forward to this upcoming season. We have every starter returning from the team that made it to the region finals last year. We've took a page from Venice Volleyball, and we have a very aggressive schedule next year.
We might have to quit here in a minute, but keep on going.
But a very aggressive schedule. We're playing several state champions, several runner-ups. Every single team that we are playing this year is from the state tournament last year. So we want to have these girls prepared and ready to do battle at the end of the year.
All right. Let's talk about these games, and we're going to be done here because it's not going to quit anytime real soon. Okay. Tomorrow night, Mooney away, and then Thursday, home, Trinity, and that is senior night.
Yeah, so McCardle Mooney on the road tonight. Very, very good team, up-and-coming program. And then Thursday we got senior night against last year's 4A state champs, Trinity Catholic. They're led by just a stud muffin that's going to Penn State next year, one of the best volleyball programs in the nation, college level. So it's going to be a great week to get us ready for the following week, in which we have the #1 seed in our district.
That's super.
So that's where we're at, and once we playoffs start, it's one and done. So we got to play hard.
All right, Ireland. Final thought.
Yes.
You get a final thought. What is it?
Yay. Oh, on
Do you
our
have
team.
a final thought?
Well, I definitely think today's practice and last Thursday's game definitely showed a change in our team throughout the whole entire season, and I'm just really, really excited to see where it takes us, because I see a lot of great potential, and I think we can go really far this season.
Yeah,
so
people think we're nuts out here. Final thought, Gary.
Hey, just thank you for having us here. We're looking forward to our season, and good luck to Venice Volleyball the rest of the way. Let's make a push.
Thank you.
Final thought for you?
Hey, just really appreciate these guys coming and joining us tonight. And soccer is definitely one of the best sports at our school, and we need to get some fans out there to cheer them on to a state championship. It's going to be an exciting season for them.
Yeah.
And the next 2 years are going to be exciting, but they're going to get it done this year. I got a feeling.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us here at Pops with Coach Brian Wheatley, head coach of the volleyball team, Ireland Ferguson, libero, and Coach Gary Bolyard, head coach of the women's soccer team. We'll catch you again next week. That's it.
All right. Thank you.
thank you